Well, Meme said I turned over a new leaf.
Yeah, right. Welcome to the Redeye stream number 210. MC turns over a new leaf? I doubt it. Drunken raccoons. Interesting. And a murder in Ohio. That and many more will be discussed tonight on the Redeye stream. I got Tema the Hun here with me. I got Gunslinger and MC so far with more expected. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good.
What am I doing on this fucking show?
Oh, you're here for the drunken raccoons. You know there's going to be a kegger party afterwards.
He's out there partying with the coons.
What are we, a bunch of fucking frat boys now?
Frat boys hang out with raccoons? I don't know. I've never been in a fraternity. Interesting, though. But we're going to lead off with a story that's a few days old, but we talked about World War I on Monday, and I had a bunch of schoolwork to do yesterday. So CNN is suing President Trump because Jim Acosta is a douchebag and pretty much shoved an intern, right? Or, I don't know, was that a shove? What was that?
No, it wasn't a shove. It was a push. He pushed her hand away.
It was a third grade slap fight over something.
Well,
really, I mean, I really want to make a sketch. I really want to make a sketch. I want to do a sketch so bad. I may end up like voluntolding my 20-year-old into it because she's just the right height difference between me and her for Jim Acosta and the chick. And we can reenact it. I may do it. I may, because it seems like it needs to be done.
No extreme acts of violence.
No. Do you have old like karaoke microphone or something?
Violence?
Oh no, we do. We have some. I think we even have like I might go to the dollar store and get a bright shiny pink one.
What? No, how? I may have just jumped into the conversation.
You really? You think?
I'm really thinking of doing a parody sketch of Jim Acosta and the White House intern fighting over the microphone.
Oh dear, that sounds kind of hilarious.
With my 20-year-old. Yeah, with my 20-year-old.
Are you good? Are you gonna put on the?
At some point, you got to spank. You got to like body slam her.
Oh God, no! I'm never going to do that to her.
Well, let her do it to you.
Try. She's too tall. She would have to do.
Wait a second. I'm going to use my phone. I'm going to check Amazon real quick and see if there's a Jim Acosta mask. That would be hilarious.
Wait. Who has a 3D printer that utilizes latex?
You said I can't even
utilizes latex.
What are you guys trying to do?
Well, they're made of latex. I mean, what else would you use a latex 3D printer for?
I didn't even know that they had made 3D printing latex.
It's a plastic. As long as you can get it into a flat sheet, you can use it for a 3D printer. As long as it's semi-malleable.
I can see a form system, like a vacuum form.
But nobody understands how vacuum cleaners work, MC. Just let it go.
Well, latex can be semi-viscous. It can be semi-solid.
Oh, dear God. I brought more folks from the UK in. Bless you.
Because sure.
Thanks for catching the cold.
Oh, is it cold in the UK too? Because it's freezing over here.
Believe it or not, it's cold here too.
It's winter.
Oh, winter is coming. MC, come on. It's not like you live in a desert or anything.
Hell, it didn't even make it to 60 today. It's cold.
Well, I mean, you gotta water the rocks somehow.
I told you, for me, it's very simple. Can I see my breath? If I can see my breath, it's too freaking cold. It's too freaking cold.
It's like 59 degrees. MC's wrapped up in a blanket in front of a freaking heater and shit.
I am not wrapped up in the blanket because my wife has the blanket.
No, MC's wearing the Snuggie.
I don't have a Snuggie, and I don't want a Snuggie. Thank you.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
America can't go to war today. AMC's a little chilly.
I can press a button for a drone. Simple enough.
No, not if your finger sticks to the button.
All right. Well, let's wrap this back around to the lawsuit because I did see a Tim Pool video on it where he had a lawyer come on and said there is precedence for this type of lawsuit. But President Trump has said the reason why he's revoked the press pass. And the other lawsuit that came in, I think, the 70s, whoever was president at the time did not give a reason for the press pass being revoked. So, I mean, they can take this to court, and there's a judge that's going to be overseeing it. How far do you think this is going to go?
I think he's going to get his press pass back.
I don't think he's going to get his press pass back.
I do.
I think that Trump is going to make a point of this. All right, and under normal circumstances, I would agree with you, Tema. I would say yeah, but Acosta has now brought it to the point where it's riled Trump to the point it's like, okay, well, fine. Since you want to play this game, let's play this game. And he's going to go down it. He's not going to get back the press pass after he wins the lawsuit as it goes up, because he will win this lawsuit. Eventually, after he's won the lawsuit, then at some point he might give it back, but not before this lawsuit has gone all the way through the courts and Trump has won.
Wait a second. It's not like Donald Trump has ever fought out viciously in lawsuits over the past 30 years. Or wait.
Well, I'm wondering if Trump's being able to pack the judicial branch with new federal judges is going to be of any consequence for this action. I know it's going to affect some other things, but I'm wondering if it'll have any effect on this one. I don't know. Could this be one that Trump appointed? I don't know.
I think that Trump will take it all the way to the Supreme Court. I'll be blunt with you. This is something that if he keeps losing in these small little court battles, he'll take it to the Supreme Court. And it sounds stupid, but to be honest, if they come back and say, if the Supreme Court comes back and says, well, you have to give back the press pass, I'm applying for a press pass. I wasn't joking when I said I would do that. Because it means that everybody deserves a press pass, and I should be able to get one too. Since I'm a commentator, and I do this, then I should have a presidential press pass.
I don't think commentators should get a press pass, though. It should be reporters. And isn't Jim Acosta kind of shooting for a commentator job? Promote him and then put somebody else there. I saw somebody in the chat say, replace him. Yeah, why don't you just promote him? He'll be happy.
No, he won't. It's the principle of the matter.
Wait a second. CNN has no one there right now?
I don't know if they have anybody there or not. He is the chief White House correspondent. He's not the only one CNN has. I doubt that they don't have somebody there.
Well, are they cutting off their nose to spite their face? If you don't have some, but what? well, actually, to be fair, if President Trump has been appointing certain judges, I mean, in theory, wouldn't a lot of the judges he'd appoint be more kind of strictish constitutionalists? And if they're going to uphold the freedom of the press, wouldn't that actually bode in Mr. Acosta's favor?
No. Just because they're not, how is President Trump, by revoking his press pass, all right, preventing them, all right, from their freedom of speech?
Preventing him?
How's it preventing him? How's it preventing? How is it preventing them from putting somebody there? It's not
preventing him from acting in the press. Sorry.
No, he can act as a press. He can comment all he wants. All they're saying is we're not giving you the right to sit up there and interview the president whenever he's standing up here giving a presidential briefing. You don't have a right to attend a presidential briefing in the White House.
Well, no, and the thing is, that'd be like MC being in the press corps during Obama's presidency, and he just stands up and starts railing at Obama. Don't you think Obama would be like, how about you get that crazy fucker out of here?
Oh, Obama's a cool cat, though.
No, he wasn't.
He had a lovely singing voice.
No, he didn't.
Well, that's subjective.
He was okay at basketball.
He has a hot ass daughter. I don't know.
He was okay at basketball? Really?
Are you
well,
saying he didn't do basketball because he was black in this stream?
No, he got in like 1 out of 11 baskets.
he was 1 out of 11 at the free throw line.
He was under pressure. There was a camera on him.
Uh-huh. Even with a camera on me, I can make at least 3 or 4. And I'm an old man with a bad shoulder.
Pixar, it didn't happen.
I can tell you the way this Acosta thing is going to go. Basically, a couple of days before the trial, unfortunately, Mr. Acosta will be hit by a van driven by a Korean fellow who will have no knowledge of anything and won't speak English.
You think that's why he was trying to travel on a different plane to France to make sure that there wasn't an accidental plane crash?
I don't think it matters much which plane he gets on.
No, there's no black holes crossing the Atlantic.
Yeah, maybe it just disappeared. We'll have to check with Don Lemon.
And bonus, if the plane does go down, you can always blame the Russians.
Well, Tim Pool did bring up a good point, which I think UMC would say it's a good point. Okay, you forced me to give him his press pass back. Now I'm not doing any press conferences. Fuck off, right? President doesn't have to do a press conference.
That's true. That's very true.
Shit.
Oh,
I didn't know it was going to do that. Shut up, kiddo.
No, but especially in today's modern era where President Trump is pretty much talking directly to the people via Twitter, he doesn't need to do a press conference.
I think that's what they fear the most, to be honest.
Oh, but he has so much fun doing them.
Does he?
Have you seen how he interacts? He just points. He gets to command, and he just gets to give snide remarks and quips and stuff.
Yeah, boy, he just points and goes, "You're fake news." Next. More fake news.
He can do that with a tweet, dude.
MC would know. He does it every day.
Well, I would support MC getting a press pass.
All right. Well, there's another part of this story. Fox News.
I don't know. Only if they have like a voice modulator on the microphone to contain the shrieky shouty when he's asking the question that really pisses him off.
Well, they have a sound balancing mic, I'm sure.
Why did you bomb Syria?
I just want to hear like the first 12 seconds, like, "Hello, everybody. This is MC, Mr. President. You fucker."
I've been quiet. I've been generally okay. Even my rant today was muted, more or less.
So you forgot to turn your mic on?
I do have to worry about that now. I never had to worry about that before. I just had to worry about it. The battery running out. Now I've got to worry about turning it on and off.
You know, it's not so bad when I put it on double speed. The modulation decreases for volume. So I tend to listen to most stuff on double speed when I'm listening to it.
Oh my God, MC on 4 times speed. I want to hear a ranting chipmunk.
You should download one of MC's rants and do that with a video editor and then post it. I don't think MC would mind.
I would suggest you never ever do what Mad said, or you'll also get hit by a Korean driver.
What? No, I love Asian food.
Do it. Do it. Memes. Do it.
Hey,
it wouldn't bother me at all. Go ahead and do it. I didn't send a missile at freaking Bollocks for his little cartoon of me.
That was awesome.
What if it sticks rants though? You got to do one of his sticks rants at like 4 or 5 times speed. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you? Like 6.
No, that or Wizard of Cause.
I digress a little bit, but I was watching NCIS last night with my wife, and there was an episode where these terrorists steal an old school 70s drone, load it full of C4. And I'm just sitting there thinking, oh my God, MC could do this to me. This is how I'm going to die.
I hate to tell you, Mod, but it wouldn't be a 70s drone. Mod could literally make a phone call and a brand new top-of-the-line drone could pass over your house.
I can't direct the drones. I was never part of that group.
Oh, of course you weren't. We all believe you.
He wasn't the pilot. He was simply the inputting the coordinates.
Well, I could read the coordinates. I was reading them off, but that's a different issue.
Oh dear.
Okay, well, before you break classification and the freaking Secret Service show up at your house, anything else on this lawsuit? Do you really think? I mean, I asked before. You think it's just going to die in the courts, or do you really think it's going to the Supreme Court? Because that'll drag out till the end of his presidency.
Until I see the documents for the lawsuit and I know what the actual argument is, which I haven't done yet. I haven't looked at the actual argument yet. I won't be able to tell you what my opinion is on how this is going to go. I will be able to do that, hopefully.
I do know that Fox News has put in a brief as a friend of the plaintiff, I believe.
So what you're saying is there is a very easy way to get rich.
Wait, actually, no. This makes brilliant, perfect sense because it keeps consistency within the media. Because during the Obama administration, Fox News was completely shut out. So if they go in and they make their case stronger than his, or if they can grab that legal precedent, they might be able to, or precedents. They might be able to go back and retroactively protect themselves or sue for damages against Obama.
But Fox News got let back in.
Only after presidents changed. Fox News was allowed at the press briefings. They were just never called on.
Wait, no, I saw Major Garrett there.
Yeah, I thought that was a temporary ban. What were you saying, Miss Steam? You were saying something?
Oh, I was just saying, so what you're saying is there is a very easy way for people to become rich. Just sue the president because he let you in the White House. Got it.
Oh.
Well, it's not uncommon. He's being sued right now.
Yeah, file a lawsuit against this sitting president.
There's a whole bunch of them. There's like, this is one of the most litigant-heavy presidencies we've seen for people suing a president. Like, and it's weird, bizarre shit. And there's stuff that's like left over from the Obama administration. Like, there's one out of Portland, Oregon that just recently got handed back. It has one discrepancy that has to be changed, and then it can proceed. Or it was just forwarded after this final discrepancy that was filed against Obama and the government for Obama Obama's administration. Because of suing for damages for physical harm to people with asthma and stuff like that for global warming. I fucking shit you not. That is an actual case that is going to be coming before it's going to go to the next step of the Supreme Court out of Portland. Actually, out of Bend, I think.
Yes, actually, that is true.
It's an actual case that's going through. And it's from
There is some stupid shit that goes through people suing the government for just to try to get money. Stupid shit.
Oh,
The government, sorry, the American government raped me. I don't have proof, but I'm a woman, so believe me. Give me money, please.
She's got a plan, folks. She has a plan. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect the plan.
she's got a plan. It's not a very good plan, but she's got a plan.
You don't know if it's good unless it actually goes. Unless it actually fails. Because in today's society, with the judiciary the way it is,
Yeah, true.
I won't put anything past them.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I mean, even in Texas, a guy won a lawsuit because a teenager jumped a fence. All right, jumped another fence, lassoed a bull. The bull pulled him down and trampled him, and they successfully sued the rancher because they called it an attractive nuisance.
An attractive. Wait.
This kid was driving, saw the bull, and it was so attractive that he had to go try and lasso the bull.
Wait, I thought they hung people for cattle rustling.
No, that's not how this is supposed to work.
Wait a minute. So because he saw something pretty, he had to go try to steal it, and that's nobody's fault. That's not his fault?
Oh my God, when I get to America, I'm going to be rich.
Wait, hold on, wait. So this bull was like out of Alice in Wonderland. It was just kind of standing around. It says, "Please lasso me."
Apparently so. Apparently, having a big ass freaking bull across the fence, it's just you just can't help but pull a lariat out. I don't know where he had the lariat at, but I'm going to play me cowboy. And the bull looked at him and said, "I'm going to play me road patty."
I do want to apologize that it took me so long to get here. I had to power cycle my internet.
Oh, it's all good. That kind of sounds like City Slickers too, or something.
Fuck, man.
City Slickers 3.
It just sounds like fucking Darwin Award.
Wait a second. So the bull was standing over Curly's gold.
So was that what it was? I should have realized.
Well, it was attractive nuisance or whatever. I mean, unless the bull was dressed provocatively or something.
Nuisance. Attractive nuisance generally has to do with a woman wearing a bright red mini dress that's right below her ass and shocking pink heels or something that causes a distress, or a strobe light on the back of a car, or firecrackers at the wrong time of year, something that could, rocks and pebbles being dropped from the freeway. It usually doesn't have. That's not what an attractive nuisance is legally.
The attractive nuisance doctrine applies to the law of torts in the United States. Hold on, I'll have to get back to you guys.
I mean, the only other reference of this I can actually think of was from House of Cards, when that couple ended up dying because they were texting back and forth about the big peach down in, I believe, Virginia that happened to resemble a part of a young lady.
God damn it, memes. Okay.
Yes.
All right. The next story is kind of interesting. Comes from I found this on the Drudge Report, but it forwarded me to PJ Media. ISIS group claims California wildfires are retribution. Vows you will see more fires.
Okay, so we just found the Muslim version of Jim Phelps or whatever his name is from the Westboro Baptist. Congratulations.
Is that necessarily true, or did they fucking start the fire?
I don't know. I was talking to somebody who said that the ring of original fires for the Southern California one, it was like 6 fires in like a ring around LA. So I don't know. I can tell you that shit legislation and retarded environmental choices through California's culture and whatever that they've decided they're going to do has led to this.
Well, Tama, there's also evidence that this exact same thing, these claims were done in Greece too. It was jihadis that had come over, and they were
hold on.
Greece went through massive fires.
Do you want to know how smart California is? Do you really want to know how smart California is? Trucks have to use a thing called diesel emission fuel, which is pig urine.
Yeah, it's urea. It's blue urea. It's blue death. Yeah.
And they're finding out that it does more harm than just the diesel itself.
Well, yeah, whenever you try to fix a problem that's not really a problem, you create new problems. But no, I want to discuss this a little bit more. You don't need a large terror cell for something like this on the West Coast.
No, you don't.
You need a couple terrorists crossing the border and lighting wildfires in Oregon and California, and you can cause mass destruction, and no one will be the wiser. Then you could do it next summer.
So, ISIS is claiming responsibility for the fucking wildfires. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Well, yeah, that's what they're claiming. I mean, in California, the thing is that they were kind of caught with it in Greece. So there is a precedent here already from the summer. where Greece went up in flames. I mean, it was massive. And it was surprisingly, it tended to happen near where the the immigration camps were, where the people were going out and just lighting fire, going out camping.
Well, no, I thought it was weird how that power whatever it's freaking called. I don't fucking want to mess it up and be called a dumbass. So whatever. It supposedly started the fire, but couldn't a terrorist fucking mess with that thing? The transistor.
Could do. Yeah, transformers can blow at any time, though. I mean, they have a finite life. How old was it? You need to look into that a bit more.
It just.
Trust me, though, mate. If one of those blew, there'd be enough sparks to start a pretty good, like a base fire. If you had enough brush around it,
So Doku in the chat says, "Well, hot damn, Avenatti was arrested today for a felony domestic abuse charge filed by his estranged wife today, according to the Associated Press." So I go look at Drudge. There, TMZ. He's been arrested. Avenatti has been arrested for domestic abuse.
Who is this?
Avenatti, creepy porn lawyer.
Oh, yes. Yeah, creepy porn guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is anyone surprised?
Not really. No.
Holy shit. Our law enforcement sources say Avenatti was arrested Wednesday after his estranged wife filed a felony domestic violence report. We're told her face was swollen and bruised with red marks on both cheeks. Uh-oh.
No.
He may have actually, fucking slapped her around a lot.
Well, it sounds like he's freaking out. His career's going down the shitter, right? I mean, he's thrown all in with all this nonsense that he's been doing. I mean, in terms of his career with that, what was her name? Fox woman. And now this. It's not, I mean, who's going to want to have, him represent them in the future? Oh, what's the other? I mean, he's doing that one now with this guy. What was it? Meant to be a bisexual guy with the news reporter.
Oh, wait a minute. So this is a mutual fight thing where he's saying he hit me first and he was screaming and yelling obscenities at, this is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. But Avenatti is currently in custody. So she may have hit him first and she found out who wears the pants when you pick a fight. But either way, not looking good for him because New York has some pretty strict domestic violence laws.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You know what I say to that?
Well, he's losing money hand over fist. And he's got, I mean, there's court cases being levied against him, aren't there? Because of the, all the shit that he's been causing. So, I mean, the guy's going to be bankrupt in a few months. His wife's probably pissed. She thought she'd married a winner. It turns out not so much.
Possibly, or there was other stuff going on in the background. I mean, these people are... New York is an interesting place, let's put it that way. This kind of upper echelon in New York City is totally different than the rest of the nation. This is...
it's like London.
Really crazy up there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, real quick, I want to read the chat. Oh, there's something interesting. I want to read it before it gets buried. James Von Maxwell, at Mad Dodge. Anyone else think it was odd that we saw pictures of burnt up cars and trees in the same location with leaves unburnt? Odd that. And yeah, Wolfie, I'll give you a wrench. For a little while, I might have to take it back away because Jensen wants to be able to moderate when we have a lot more people in there. So that's why a lot of people lost wrenches. But there you go. But no, I haven't seen those pictures James is talking about, but that would be quite odd.
I've seen nothing about that.
I can tell you that fire was moving so fast, there would be unburnt leaves left. That's not uncommon for how fast these fires move with those Santa Ana winds. I grew up in California. I'm a native to there. I have kin that are like, my family's like some of the longest standing generation for firefighters as a group that was paid for by infrastructure. My family's been there. This is the first generation. My brother is not part of that affiliation. So it's firefighting is something I've heard about and experienced my whole life. There are fires that will come through and they are so hot and they are so fast. Pockets where the oxygen is less, things will just not burn because the oxygen is being sucked out, and you will have pockets of unburned leaves and things like that. Especially there's the underbrush, and the Santa Anas will gust up to 100 miles an hour in certain areas.
All right, they had that in.
It's
Germany.
fucking brutal. It happened in San Francisco too.
Well, I'm just during the firestorms in World War, well, during World War II, when there were firestorming cities, and you'd find people in the basements, and they hadn't died from the actual fires or anything; they just died from being asphyxiated.
Because all the heat, the oxygen.
No air left.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's all gone.
But I read the rest of that story about ISIS, and they're saying Allah did it because of the bombings in Syria.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're necessarily taking credit, but that's really odd, and it will happen again. It kind of seems like a veiled threat to me, and like me and Cabby were talking, it would be the easiest terrorist attack on the West Coast. It really would.
Yeah.
Or it's some religious zealots like the Westboro Baptist style fundamentalists that are fucking dick skulls that have decided to use this for political points for themselves to say, hey, look. And then there's an obvious reality that this is going to happen again because Jerry Brown is out there blaming fucking global warming denial for there being fires in California.
And the thing is, you can't accept the the people who necessarily claim responsibility. Yeah, because I mean, ISIS would claim, anything if it meant that it gave them a world perspective that they had more extensive power than they necessarily do. You know what I mean? It's sort of good PR from their side, for their side.
A lot of these terrorist groups also like to claim the fact that they did something when somebody else did it too.
That's what I mean. That's what I just said.
I know Greenpeace liked to take publicity that they've sabotaged oil. Was it boats? Something about oil boats. Like they like to say, "Oh, we sabotaged this," when actually it was just an accident, or Greenpeace is notorious for that sort of shit. They constantly take
accidents and say they did some sabotage shit that nobody could detect.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why one of the founding members of Greenpeace left, wasn't it? Yeah, I mean, because of how militant it was getting. They were going completely loopy. So and that's a founding member, not just somebody who was an ex-participant. I mean, an actual founding member.
Greenpeace has fucking kidnapped and tortured people in the past, but no one likes to talk about that aspect of them.
Well, no, and
nobody talks about that either.
Well, real quick, aren't they kind of stupid? Okay, you sabotage a oil platform or an oil barge. What's going to happen? It's all going to spill into the ocean. You're hurting your own cause, you dumbasses.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you don't have to. You're not going to think it through.
See,
don't overthink it. They haven't.
Oh, obviously.
I find it funny whenever I see advertisements around England about Greenpeace and that stuff. It's like, you're promoting a terrorist organization.
Elf. Does anybody remember Elf?
Elf. Oh, you mean the oil company?
The Environmental Liberation Front.
No, I was thinking of Elf, the oil company.
Were they the ones spiking trees? That way loggers would have a kickback and lose an arm or something.
Yeah, they were the ones doing that, and they were they blew some shit up and actually killed people. They kidnapped scientists from laboratories that used animals for testing, And I think that they ended up killing a couple of those in one of their torture sessions a couple of times. I think by the mid 90s, they were one of the most sought after environmental terrorist groups in America. I don't know where else they struck. I'm pretty sure it was like Canada and like Norway and a couple other places that do like, they have ports for oil and things like that too. They were pretty.
It was everywhere whaling, wasn't it? Yeah, anything to do with whaling, they were pretty freaky.
Yeah.
With someone like that, it's like Return the Scientist or Shamu Gets It. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I think it ended up being like some European special forces ended up eradicating or wiping out several of them, and then a couple others got arrested, and ALF was ended up being broken up. But
oh yeah, I think we had an outbreak of in England. I think it was with the hippie movement. They sent like letter bombs to scientists' houses.
Yes,
that's right. GM ones. Anyone to do with GM?
Yeah, that's it.
They got animal testing, wasn't it? It was it was cosmetics companies and
that was all
medical companies.
That's all PETA, guys. Yeah. That's PETA.
Oh yeah, no, PETA is absolutely terrible. I like, it's funny, they keep going on about veganism, we should never kill any living thing ever, and it's like, dogs, how they have this beautiful shelter for dogs. If you don't adopt them within 6 months, they get put down for no reason other than that.
No, but also, yeah, but think about it. What would be the first result of if PETA got their way? If they got their vegan ideal, right, then there would be no farming. So, I mean, how are you going to grow crops at the same time as you're releasing all of these domesticated animals onto the land, right? I mean, you can't share the land. So, I mean, you're going to have to, it'd be like eugenics for animals.
Yeah. And on top of that, there's a lot of people that can't live on a vegan diet. A vegan diet was supposed to be for people who were allergic, like deadly allergic to animal products. And they turn this into a stupid fad now. And the people who are actually allergic to animal products, they say don't ever go on a vegan diet. It's horrible. I mean, hell, I can't go on a vegan diet because I would be hospitalized.
Bacon. No. That's why.
No, I have dietary restrictions which actually can't make me vegan, so not anyone can go vegan. Sort of thing. It's unreasonable to think that entire human species that have different food-related problems would all be okay with eating vegetables. Keep in mind, a lot of people are allergic to a majority of vegetables as well.
I don't know. Why is everyone allergic
to gluten intolerance?
Why is everyone allergic to things these days? Well, you used to get told to eat things and be done with it. And the only people we ever had who were who were like allergic at school was the occasional kid who had an inhaler, and that was only because they had an overprotective mother.
Well, the reason why is because you could actually technically be allergic to anything. Allergies just form over a period of time, and the thing is that it probably wasn't as common when you were younger because, it wasn't very well known back then.
Well, no, people didn't get sick. I mean, you'd known it because people would have been ill.
Or people did get sick and they just got on with it.
Well, yeah, but there's also we've had the improvement of medicine, which means that other things that would have killed these people in their youth, besides the food allergy, killed them off.
Yeah, I just think it's a bunch of, again, it's sort of like this form of victim thing.
I'm allergic to melons.
Everyone's got to be a victim of something. I'm a victim of my own diet.
That could be, possibly that's
I can't eat red meat, otherwise I have to go to hospital.
Dead yeast tears me up. It fucks my skin up, makes my stomach hurt. Yeah, I don't I love bread, but I can't eat it very often.
And I can't eat melons. So what? I turn into the Exorcist thing. Head spinning and all.
I still do it. Every once in a while. I'll still eat some bread. I give a shit. I still put myself through it because I love the taste of bread. That's fine. Whatever.
I know, right? You're like, but it tastes so good.
Fuck it. And baking bread, to me, is a symbol of being civilized. I don't know. For me, it's some sort of cathartic, philosophical, spiritual experience. So the rest of my family eats it. I make
Like milk. Shows that you're not lactose intolerant, that you haven't actually evolved.
It's like building a fire. There's some sort of primal satisfaction in doing these things that symbolize just like the basic fundamentals of being a civilized human being.
And don't forget, milk is racist.
Yeah.
No, I think that's just you.
No. Word. Milk is racist because
we lost our
people in Europe and people who moved into the northern hemisphere, they had to farm, and obviously they domesticated cows, so we became lactose tolerant. But Africans tend not to be lactose tolerant.
Same as Indians.
They get the shits.
Same as Indians.
No, Indians, yeah, exactly, yeah. Because
Indians don't have a lot of they're pretty lactose tolerant there too.
Well, I still think the only reason Cabby's not Muslim is because of bacon. Other than that, he'd probably be at the mosque right now.
Oh yeah, keeping the bitches down.
Oh, I miss. I'd kill for some bacon. I miss bacon.
Oh, I love bacon. Can't beat bacon.
But
that reminds me, going to another state when I was doing my trucking job. They're like, we got bacon burgers here. I'm like, really? Where I'm from, we got bacon wrapped bacon.
Bacon in a pig.
I was in a Burger King in Washington a while back. Been about a year now. We were ordering burgers for the family for some reason, and this couple comes in and they have accents, and I realize, oh, they're African, and they start ordering food, or they keep asking, or they start ordering food, and then as soon as they order, they go, wait, does that have bacon? And it's Burger King, so like almost everything that's on the menu comes with bacon.
Yeah, but Burger King's bacon kind of sucks. Like, I swear they probably microwave it. It's like that microwavable bacon.
I'm sure it is. I don't care the quality of the bacon. My point is, these people come into a Burger King. Now, everybody else who goes to Burger King recognizes that they put bacon in everything, right? That's kind of like their niche signature thing right now, is they just kind of wrap everything in fucking bacon. These people had the balls to be pissed that they had to get stuff with chicken and not beef. And I'm like, you can't just order it without bacon. And they were like pissed off. And I'm like, it's cheaper if you get it without bacon. You can just say, don't put bacon on that.
But what was the problem?
They got
it.
Because bacon sold it all in the restaurant.
Oh,
so I had to just stop and explain, well, that's American culture. Sorry.
Well, I just say, fuck off. Why are you being such a pain in the ass? Who needs those kind of customers in your restaurant anyway? Just tell them to fuck off. Yeah. They'll soon find that they're not welcome anywhere when they just piss everybody off. Well, they end up just sitting there eating fucking lentil soup in their little shitty hovel with nobody, because who the fuck wants to hang around some cunt who moans about bacon on a bloody burger?
Well, but especially when there's like so many other options and so many other places to go where it's hard to find bacon on the menu and get a burger. You know what I mean?
No, yeah. I don't know.
Especially,
there's always a bacon burger available over here. I mean, how was that one?
But other restaurants have a far larger variety of foods without bacon, and in America we have 26 different major fast food chains on East Coast individually, or each coast individually. It's some ridiculous amount of options.
Oh,
but I mean, the idea isn't it just saying hold the bacon? Just hold the bacon. I'll have this burger, hold the bacon. That's it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get what you asked for.
It's like
I'm the type. Go ahead, Misty.
I was just saying, there's a way to get around it. If you have dietary restrictions, just get the stuff that you can't eat. Like, get the stuff that you can eat and leave the stuff you can't eat. It's very simple. Like, I can't have mushrooms. So if I go to a shop and something has mushrooms in it, I'm not going to go, oh, can I have Can I have the mushroom risotto, but leave out the fucking mushroom?
I can have rice soup. I want rice soup, please.
Well, it's like going into an Asian restaurant and saying, "Hey, you have something that doesn't have rice with it."
Yeah.
Do you have something that doesn't have fried rice?
You know,
fried rice.
Well, they do have noodles.
That's fried rice, you plick.
Good Lethal Weapon reference.
Yeah.
No, the next story, Tema, I'm pretty sure you read it because my computer was roboting there for a second, so I don't want to try and pull it up. But the climate change story I found, where they skewed the results of that shit, and now they're being called out on it, right?
but they don't even understand exactly how the math errors have affected their own their own models.
They admit that there's a massive error. They admit that what they did is they said you know how they do the plus or minus, right? What they're saying in the thing is that the plus or minus is 60% for what they're saying. Okay.
Yeah, no, and I forgot to mention this was an oceanic study, so they're talking about ocean temperature.
By the way, where's this university?
It has been increasing and hasn't been.
Which university was this?
San Diego. This is Scripps.
Oh, okay. I thought it might have been the University of East Anglia again, because they got caught last time.
Yeah. How many people are going to get caught with these boo-boos, these errors, these oopsies, we deleted the original data. When have you ever destroyed the original data for a study of any sort?
Yeah. They still have Tesla's original freaking data. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, well, it was standard procedure. We just destroyed the data. What?
Right. It's records that were going back for literally, all right, 80 years worth of data, and they just decided to delete it permanently. It's been saved for years, but when somebody says, "Wait a minute here, let's see what data you're actually using," oh, well, we accidentally deleted it. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, but you see, here's the point. When people say we deleted it, right, that indicates that it's computer data. But that means they weren't computer. I mean, 80 years ago, they weren't putting, this data was gathered on paper to begin with, and then fed to somebody if it was going on computer, even in the 1960s.
And then they put it on microfiche, and then apparently deleted the microfiche because they had digital copies, and now deleted the digital copies.
And they deleted the originals, which presumably means burning them. Then they deleted the microfiche, which again means burning them. I mean, unless they could claim that they just ran out of memory sticks or something, so they had to reuse a memory stick. Somebody reformatted a memory stick.
Well, you know
just an oopsie.
The big thing that really pisses me off about global warming is it takes a really important focus away from something. It takes our focus away from something that is drastically more important than global warming. That is the quality of our water, our water table globally. That is the amount of garbage we are just leaving sitting around. There's so much toxicity we are not paying attention to that we are doing to the environment because we're busy worrying about fucking carbon emissions. Are you serious? We should be revolutionizing garbage and recycling right now. We shouldn't be looking at fucking how to make a faster engine or solar power. We should be looking at how to reduce the amount of waste we have.
It's like we had a good system with glass. For instance, we had glass bottles. And
you used to get money back.
We used to. Whoa!
Yay!
Yeah. Anyway, so we used to have glass bottles, and what we do is we'd get the glass bottles, and then we would put them in recycling, and then they would get power washed, or would be melted and turned into more glass stuff, and would be used over and over again. That was a good system. And then we replaced that for plastic bottles, basically. And made glass bottles a lot more expensive, and now we are having a lot of problem with plastic. But basically, we had a good system, and we got rid of it for our crappier system.
Go ahead.
Miss Dean, going back in the day, I mean, you'd take your bottles back, and you'd actually get credited. You get 5p a bottle. You used to actually get money for them. So when you return the bottle to the shop, or to the guy who delivered your, your pop and everything, if you gave them the bottle back, then you got a refund. So much per bottle.
Oh,
now there's a good idea.
Yeah, that was a really good idea. We got rid of it for shittiest.
That was back in the 70s. Yeah, that was back in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, now you throw things into a bottle bank and it all gets smashed up, and then, like you say, they can just remelt it again or something. Well, that's fine, but that's when they used to do the proper power. Like clean them out. They used to use. Anyway, they used to purify them, and then boom, back on the production line.
Well, yeah, that's one thing that irritated me about my visit to Nevada. I won a bunch of money. I had a good time. But they don't have any bottle or can exchange at all. So everybody is just throwing everything away in Nevada. It's pretty insane to me, where here in Oregon, we have a 10-cent return on pretty much everything now.
Well, it's sensible. Why not? Give people an incentive to get it back.
That doesn't solve the issue.
People who can reuse it.
The problem that you have with this whole global warming crap, and Tema's partially right, all right, but the real problem is that they don't care about global warming. They don't believe it either. They've actually said it. The UN has actually said it. They're doing it for a wealth redistribution. That's their goal. They're just using it as a method of wealth redistribution.
Yeah.
They don't even believe that it's really happening.
Yeah. And the thing is,
but we have a bigger problem now, because we've all been doing this, out of sight, out of mind thing with garbage. I don't know if it happens in Europe, but in America, we were sending like 80% of our garbage to China for them to deal with it. I shit you not. It's some vast, huge amount of our garbage. And China finally threw their hands up and said, we can't handle this no more, people. You got to start dealing with your own shit. And they shut down their stuff. And they're only dealing with what they have to deal with right now, because they've taken on like India or somebody else like that that's bigger, or something like that. And America's the chickens are coming home to roost, and we're gonna have to go back to figuring out how to deal with our own fucking garbage.
Yeah, well, this is like the what's it called? Jesus, that one in New York, the Fresh Kills. I mean, that one is now taller than the Empire. No, it's not the Empire State Building. The Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
and that's how high it's got now. I mean, it's consumerism. What do you expect? If you've got a consumer society without recycling, you're going to end up with
I don't remember what year it was, but wasn't there a barge on the East Coast that was carrying garbage to another state, and then that state's like, no, we don't fucking want it, send it back, and it couldn't go back to its home port. They just kept sending it back and forth.
The problem with that one, I do remember that. It wasn't that they were upset that it had waste. It was that it had medical waste, and the other group says, we don't want this. Because it had freaking, used needles and all sorts of things, and people were like, "No, I don't want this freaking disease-carrying shit coming near my port. Screw you."
It was a plague ship. Holy shit, plague ship. So we really are going backwards, aren't we?
I don't even remember where they put it.
But the fucked up thing is, we have ships that have mobile incineration units on them that can handle taking care of the garbage you're talking about.
Is incineration the best way? Because I think one of the we're talking about people and all of these illnesses that they seem to have accumulated over the years. It's got to be. I mean, it's the air. It has to be to do with air pollution, or it's got to be something that is ingested somehow, whether it's through the air or
I got overexposed to meat. I got overexposed to meat all my life. Overexposure can also cause allergies, so I got overexposed to red meat all my life, so now I can't eat red meat.
I was a carnivore as a kid.
I barely had any vegetables when I was a kid. Yeah. My dad would just get like all sorts of meat and would just fucking grill it, and then would just give us to eat. But apparently overexposure also gives you allergies too, so shit.
Well, you can get allergies from a lot of different things. So it's your body just whatever decides it wants to, become.
And I'm sure a lot of it.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure a lot of it is down to reduced capacity by the people's bodies being depleted by a lot of the stuff which is either in the water, in the air, or in
it's a possibility.
Water, air, or food. I mean, it's a one common event, isn't it? It's all about what if you eat, if you're eating shit, you're going to turn into a turd.
Or a cabbage.
Well, don't Americans eat like way more meat per person than any other country in the world? I
think we eat more. We eat way more of everything than the rest of the world. What are you talking about?
I'm still waiting to go over there and see Texas with like, fucking cow on a stick or something. Deep fried cow on a stick.
Butter deep fried.
Yeah, again.
It's
battered.
You remember fried butter?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how you guys made that.
That was amazing.
Oh,
I still don't understand how you did it. I mean, it's almost like it's like a baked Alaska, I guess. It's sort of a Montana version of baked
It was a challenge. That's what it turned into, as a challenge. It was one of those hold my beer moments. Bet you can't sit up there and batter this. Watch me. Bet you can't deep fry this. Here, hold my beer. That's what that turned into. I can guarantee you that's what happened with that. But yeah, no, I mean,
that's just a frat thing gone bad, isn't it? Really?
Miss Steam, do you want your camera on?
Yeah, I just turned on.
Hi.
Hi. But I want to deep fry a turkey. I've never done that, but I've seen so many videos of people catching their yards on fire. I'm like, not the best idea.
That's because people are stupid. You gotta, if you're gonna deep fry a turkey, just like deep frying anything, you got to make sure that when you dip it in there, it doesn't have water, or it can explode because of the steam explosion. Create a small steam explosion. That's what happens to them.
And you need to put it with the hole up. Like have the legs pointing upwards when you're dropping it in, so that the air can leave. Otherwise, the turkey, when you drop it in, if you put it the wrong way around, it'll literally rocket out the bloody oil.
Oh, that sounds like a good YouTube video. Turkey launching.
Yeah.
Turkey launching. I think that's what catches your lawn on fire and your house on fire. Scalds the children, leaves them scarred for life.
I'll
you
have
don't even
them
get a
watch
meal at the
inside
end
the
of it
house.
because the turkey's stuck in a tree 30 feet away.
So calls the cougar on in because he lives in the freaking woods, man. You know what's going to happen to him.
That's true.
I think I know what I did. I was supposed to hit the mute button and I accidentally hit the camera. So, yeah.
well, you look fantastic, so don't worry about it.
Face reveal.
Thank you. I'm in my pajamas and I didn't bother getting dressed.
Didn't notice. Didn't care. Sorry.
I don't remember. I don't remember what state it was in. And like I said, I don't want to pull it up, but some cops got a call about 2 raccoons that were stumbling, and the people that saw them thought they had rabies. So they went and catch the raccoons, and it turns out they were just drunk. Now, what store is selling raccoons beer? Or did they card the raccoon? How did this happen?
Sounds like something they do in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, man.
Hey, it happens in the wild.
Crab apples.
Yeah, it happens in the wild. You get monkeys and elephants and giraffes. They all get pissed up when the fruit starts, like at the end of season, and it's all been fermenting in the trees, or it drops onto the floor, and they all get hammered. Yeah, there's a lot of action going on in the savannah. A lot of fun parties.
That sounds scary. Drunken monkeys.
I wouldn't worry about the drunken monkeys as much as a drunken elephant. Can you imagine trying? What kind of fights that thing will pick up? It's like, okay.
Just look it up on YouTube, like drunk elephants. Well, there's actually the drunk elephants with the monkeys. The monkeys are like flopping around. from the back of the elephants and things like that. They're totally arseholes.
So the monkey delinquents is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's just going on, trying to piss off the elephant. This is like a bad move, buddy.
The elephant drunk. This will be fun. Come on. That sounds like an American monkey.
Seriously. And like I said, the giraffe one was hilarious. Should have seen the giraffes, because like you imagine, like if you're swaying, I mean, an elephant swaying is going to look impressive, but you got that neck, and they're kind of swaying backwards and forwards.
I was thinking of the legs stumbling around drunk. I was like, oh, that has to be.
Look up drunk giraffes. You'll find it.
and see, what you didn't realize is that the lions were paying them in the background. Get them drunk, well, they're easier to catch.
That's it, exactly. The lions are sitting there going, we got the payoff coming. Yeah. Happens.
But I just thought that'd be a lighthearted story we could bullshit about for a little bit. But yeah, drunken animals. I have heard of that happening before. But yeah, I just thought it was funny.
And bonobo monkeys, when they get drunk, they go completely mad. They go into like, they have orgies.
And they fight, and they steal shit, and they break things. They're like the hooligans after they win a game.
They are.
Holy shit.
Crazy.
They have their own fraternity?
We don't know.
It's
Delta knows all about them.
It's Delta Tau Chi, mate. It's Animal House.
That must have been Belushi's spirit animal.
Yeah. The bonobo. Yeah, actually, that would make
in
sense.
A samurai suit. The bonobo in a samurai suit.
A bonobo muse.
With the toga over the samurai.
I'd love to see a bonobo in a toga. That would be funny.
Freaking toga part. God damn it, Cabby. So, MC, did you do a rant today? What'd you rant about?
Oh.
He must have stepped away.
Yeah.
Tema, do you
by
have
the
a
way,
story? We're kind of flying through my stories here, and we still have an hour left. So
there was Tema. You did another one, which is about that woman who was apparently stepping away from, what was it, Instagram?
Oh yeah, the like 68% of America, or of, I think it was whatever polled group, have walked away from some form of social media. Where did I put that?
It was in the Redeye.
Was it in the Redeye?
But yeah, and when you read through it, though, it's so funny. The headline, it makes it sound like she's one of the founding members, and all she did was basically she was one of the content. It's basically like saying, John stopped using, a guy who worked in Buick, and he doesn't, old Chrysler, and he doesn't drive Chryslers anymore, but he used to work on the production line, So Bill decided to drive a Toyota, but he works at Tesla or something. I mean, this woman was not a founding member. She wasn't an engineer. It's so weird the way that is made.
I have stepped away from so much different social media stuff. It's not funny.
Oh, I know.
So what's the new? I have Facebook, but I don't do Facebook. I have Twitter. I'm barely on Twitter.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, it came out. I mean, a month or so ago, where like all of the Steve Jobs and Wozniak. No, not Wozniak. All the major players in the tech field, they don't let their own children use, social media.
I don't let my children use social media.
I let my kids use YouTube with me. I was letting them watch.
That's about it.
Themselves, but not anymore. No, my kids, I watch over what they can watch.
Give them flip phones. That's what they need.
You put it on the camera again, Miss Dean.
I turned it on. I was like, fuck it.
Okay.
I don't want to digress too far here, but Cabby, Brexit updates. The UK, cabinet approves the draft deal for Brexit. It needs to pass Parliament now. Good news? You think it'll pass Parliament?
It's interesting because there's already an MP who's come out who's saying that it's an absolute fucking betrayal. that the contents, and they still won't release the contents to the public, of course.
Oh.
I mean, why would they? After all, we're only the voters. So no, I think it's going to be a total fucking sellout. I have absolutely no faith whatsoever in the fiasco that has become Brexit, as I predicted going back all those years. 3 years ago. Fucking hell, I don't know how long they managed to drag this shit out now. Going back to the days of even on the Ogre channel, I fucking laid it out exactly how it was going to go once they didn't issue Article 50, straight away.
Well, but when do they take the vote in Parliament?
Well, that doesn't. Well, the vote. No, now they'll debate. This is the interim period. I think it has to be approved at some point before. Well, March 19th is cut-off date, I believe. I think that's the cut-off date. So March 19th next year is the absolute date when Article 50 happens, whether or not an agreement is.
Well, yeah, but for what they're going to try and hand to Parliament, and from what you're saying, they haven't handed to Parliament yet because nobody's actually seen what the deal is. Right?
Well, if they want to try and rush it through, then they'll put it before Parliament as quick as possible, so as few people as possible can read it. You know what I mean? That's the usual technique.
What will happen though is I think that because I think as soon as that vote takes place, it'll get pulled down because Labor's already said they're not going to vote for it, right? Which means that if they lose the contingent in the Irish contingent, the Northern Irish contingent, which is basically already said that they're not going to approve it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as that vote takes place, then comes the next vote, which is the vote to get rid of Theresa May and bring the government down, right?
And then you end up in another general election, and then it will become. And like I said, I laid this all out how they're going to fuck this up.
Okay.
But how much time has to pass before a general election?
Oh well, it doesn't have to happen now because they only had one like a year or so ago. Theresa May fucked up, her own
but it's going to.
Situation.
Let's be perfectly honest.
Well, no, it doesn't have to. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's the thing, because we have a different system over here. What could happen is Theresa May can be toppled. You can actually change the leader of the party in midterm. There's no problem with that. Well, I mean, we did it with Margaret Thatcher. It's not unprecedented because it's a parliamentary system. It's not. It's not it's not a president. So.
Okay, but then who do you replace her with?
Well, that's where they're talking Boris Johnson or Jacob Rees-Mogg or,
We had something similar. It's called impeachment.
Well,
yeah. When's that ever worked?
I mean, we've impeached presidents twice, but no standing president has ever been removed.
Yeah. So, well, she can just be junked by the party if she's becoming. She already is toxic, and it shows that the party really doesn't give a shit about the electorate or the referendum.
Would that create an entire new cabinet?
So the fact that
yeah, because the prime minister elects chooses her cabinet or his cabinet, whichever.
Yeah. The Prime Minister wasn't properly elected.
It's all a fucking fiasco.
Kind of just put in. There was an election going on, and then they stopped it and went, "There you go. She's Prime Minister now." We didn't stop it. We didn't finish the election, but she's Prime Minister now. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Well, this is the thing. Well, she is Prime Minister, but she just had to make. Well, yeah, she should never have called a general election because she shouldn't have taken a non-partisan issue like the referendum and tried to turn it because she thought she could use all the Brexit votes to get re-elected with a majority, which was a fucking delusional thing to begin with. And I said that's what would happen. I said it. I even predicted that before they even, were thinking about doing it. I said they're going to try and do that because they think that they can capitalize on, and it's all tits up. Honestly, I could fucking rant about this shit for hours, but I won't.
Yeah.
I'll just bore this.
Well, okay. So by the way, go ahead.
And by the way, do you guys want to see my phone?
I don't believe you. Honestly, I don't. I don't.
No, it's a phone. It works and everything. See?
No, I've got a flip phone. I've got a good old flip phone.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded ever. I wait until things break.
Yep.
Cabby, you got a flip phone because you like to pretend you're Captain Kirk. Be honest.
Well, there was an element of that. That's true. I did get the original. What was it? Motorola. You remember the Motorola flip phone when that first came out? I did get one of those with a Captain Kirk reasoning. That was back in the 80s.
So
that's okay. I
guess the real question I've been asking is, how soon will you get rid of Theresa May?
Pretty soon. Everyone hates her.
Yeah, well, I think this is going to be the one. I mean, if they really do try and force this through. Well, actually, I don't know. The machinations of the cabinet are going to be the interesting thing to pull apart as to why the Brexiteers. But then again, you see, there were so few Brexiteers in the cabinet. The mass majority of the cabinet were, pro-EU. Yeah, so it's hardly surprising that she managed to get an approval. Plus, she was, of course, an original Remainer. So, yeah, wow, we got fucked in the ass by the people who...
Well, okay, can your cabinet veto the Prime Minister?
Yeah. Well, the party can. But, yeah, they can certainly stall anything. Yeah, they can... Well, unless if they have approved it, then it has to go through the parliament. It has to go through Parliament and get put forward as a bill. Or
No, I understand that, but it amazes me that the cabinet, the selected people, can overrule the Prime Minister.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, their accountability.
Well, that happened with. Look back at what happened with Margaret Thatcher in the final days. That's exactly what happened. And she was in France at the time, and she got totally backstabbed when she wasn't even around. And they said, "By the way, don't come back." Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Margaret, what was it?
Here's your pension. Bye-bye.
What was the rhyme? Margaret Thatcher, milk snatcher.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because she stopped the free milk for kids in schools.
It's okay. Ronald Reagan decided that ketchup was a food group or was a vegetable.
But yeah, well, they can do a lot of stuff to scupper this. But what they're trying to do is, because they're going to create such a fiasco, then they'll use it as the excuse that we're going to have to go back to a second referendum. Now, because it's 3 years later, the numbers game, they've imported a whole bunch more immigrants who are all going to vote on behalf of Remain. A lot of people who voted to exit have died, over 3 years, because the older people tended to vote for leave. So when you topped up the numbers, plus an awful lot of people who are just too pissed off and sick and tired of having to go and vote for things, because they actually thought they elected people to do the fucking job.
Actually, a lot of millennials, they did actually vote for leave, but the problem was they kind of had to do it privately, otherwise they would got beaten the shit out of. Where I used to live, I had to be very quiet about who I was voting for. I had to basically sneak past the Remain people, because I would have got beaten the shit out of. It's not the fact that millennials against the older people. It's more of a case of millennials can't really speak their opinion if they have any conservative beliefs, because they're going to get beaten the shit out of and discriminated against highly.
Well,
especially if you're in
but sometimes you've got to be pragmatic, and like I said, so don't speak out about it. Just when the opportunity comes, speak with your voter. Which is what we did. I mean, this is exactly what happened, which is why the polls, everyone was saying that it was going to be a guaranteed, Remain vote, and it wasn't, because whenever any pollster phoned up, the people who wanted to vote Leave would obviously not admit to it. Same thing with Trump. So as long as people are pragmatic, we've really got to fucking dig our heels in on this one and say, no, enough's enough. And it's going to be more difficult this time, because that 3 year gap, the numbers that we're talking about are in the millions, and it could literally tip the balance. They could literally flip the numbers as they appear.
I think a lot of people, though, in a lot of the people that were on the fence that didn't then decided finally to vote remain, all right, may change their vote this time.
Well, I would hope. Well, like I said, if we're pragmatic about it, number one, I hope an awful lot of those people are pissed off about the way that they've been, that this whole process has occurred.
If they attempt to do that, all right, basically what it means is just like we're having the problem right now, making sure that we have a true voting system, a non-corrupted voting system. I mean, here in Arizona, there's a lot of shenanigans that were played that people are now trying to figure out how we're going to fix it to prevent it from happening again. All right,
Is that how the senator won? Didn't she win like 100
that's exactly
votes?
how the senator won. Is one of the people stood up there and held open the polls in only precincts that were heavily Democrat in the most populous county in the state.
Right, you just reminded me, because when the vote was coming up, I was telling people, whatever you do, take your own pen. Because I wouldn't trust these fuckers not to use invisible ink or, pencils or something. And guess what? They issued fucking pencils. I told everyone, go down with their own Sharpies. Take your own fucking pen. Because you can't trust them. I'm sure the Brexit vote, because I tell you now, everyone I spoke to in my area and in lots of different areas, and, we're talking from very wealthy, people running their own businesses down to shop floor workers, factory workers and people like that. So you've got a, complete plethora of different, classes, whatever you want to call them. But I rarely found somebody who was a Remainer. When you actually got talking to them, it's like, well, as you said, Steam, that a lot of people weren't willing to admit because they thought that they were going to get, fucking chastised and beaten up or whatever. But once you actually got these people chatting, they always said, yeah, we want to leave. Yeah. So the dynamic was out there. It was just that they didn't, it wasn't capitalized upon.
The most vocal, where I used to work, the most vocal people about their politics were the Remain people. And when the Leave people admitted that they were voting, they mysteriously got fired for some reason. I wonder how the hell that happened.
But oddly enough, there are definitely a lot of Remainers who they believed the doom and gloom shit that was coming out, that said that our economy is going to collapse, the Bank of England's going to be in a firestorm sale, and blah blah blah. The whole thing's frogs and dogs and cats living together in
mass hysteria.
Yeah, and none of it actually happened afterwards. So a lot of people saw that a lot of it was scaremongering.
Yeah, it was pure scaremongering.
And now, of course, we've got, Hungary, we've got Poland, we've got, Italy. All of them are starting to, come around to our way of thinking. So, maybe people got more of a backbone at the moment, but they won't give up. But they are pushing for the second referendum. I think that's what the intention of what they're doing is solely so they can force through a second referendum so they can play the numbers game. And that's the reason they've delayed it for so long. If they just wanted to get it done, they could have said, Article 50, we're issuing it Monday, Monday morning, 9 o'clock on, Jean-Claude Juncker's desk. There you go. By the way, if you want to debate or discuss anything, we comply with every regulation and everything that you do. So you've got no reason to reject any of our products or anything like that. We comply currently. So that's all good. By the way, if you want to talk to us about doing a deal, the doors are always open. In the meantime, we're going to talk to Canada and Australia and New Zealand and this and that and the other, and we could have gone to all the other countries and America and, India and China, and we could have negotiated separately. And that should have been done, 9 o'clock Monday morning after Article 50. And it wasn't. And that's when they're going to fuck you.
Yeah.
And then they would have had to come chasing us for a deal. We didn't. Everything that Theresa May has done has been to basically undermine our negotiating capacity with our opposition. I mean, this is like somebody going into a fight and kneecapping themselves. That's what she's done. She's a fucking lunatic.
That's what she's doing.
Well, she doesn't. I think she doesn't. I think you're right that she doesn't want to leave. I think that's what the problem is that she's doing everything she can to prevent Britain from leaving. But what she's, and to be honest, what she's doing is basically going to ensure that it happens. I think what's going to end up happening is because of the chaos that's reigning right now, because of the chaos that you're talking about, you won't be able to do the vote before you're officially gone in March.
The thing is,
no! I guarantee you, they'll be able to get another delay. The European Union, if they believe that they can get a second vote out of Britain, so they go back in again, like they did with Ireland with the Lisbon Treaty. Oh yeah, no, don't you fucking worry. Oh, the European Union will suddenly say, "Oh no, we'll give you another 6 months if you need it."
If they do that, then what is the EU's founding document worth?
Nothing. It never has been. It never has been. I mean, that's a ludicrous question. I mean, even the Lisbon Treaty was rejected by France, by Ireland, by the Netherlands, by the only countries that they actually allowed to vote on it, right? Out of 27 countries, is it? Only, well, I mean, the original constitution, the European constitution that they wanted to create, yeah, and they said, oh, no, we're not trying to become United States of Europe. But by the way, we want you to sign up to a European constitution.
Thank you.
You know? I mean, it's so friggin' ridiculous. It's retarded. And then, so it got rejected by France and the Netherlands the first time. They didn't get their own way. So then I think the Netherlands got denied a second option on the Lisbon Treaty, but France rejected the Lisbon Treaty and Ireland rejected it. And then they got forced to have to vote on it again because because the Constitution got renamed into the Lisbon Treaty. And so basically Ireland decided the whole of the European Union's future with the Lisbon Treaty. It's a fucking joke, mate, honestly. I mean, you couldn't make this crap up. You know, this is not even, it's not even comedic.
Yeah. Good luck to you is all I can say. Good luck.
On that note, we'll move on to the next story. So children in the United States are getting a paralyzing illness. It's kind of like polio. And they have no idea what it is whatsoever or how to even treat it. Tema, you said you were following this story. You want to go into more in depth on it?
Okay, well, I haven't been able to follow it as nicely as I'd like because there's zero coverage on it. So I'm just hearing blips on the radio and I'm seeing a couple articles here or there. So far, all the places that have been listed and noted as places that have this mysterious illness are also places that have taken in Somali refugees within the last 3 years. All 27 states. So... And from what I can tell, the correlative areas to relocation, even though not all of that has been released. So we can't even really be sure where all these Somali residents relocated to in our...
So we got plague bears roaming around from Somalia, is what you're saying.
Maybe, maybe not. That's what the evidence suggests. Considering that polio-like viruses haven't existed anywhere in the West for almost 100 years now, it's pretty likely it's not American based.
It's like a really piss poor version of Jurassic Park, isn't it? I mean, we couldn't make, you know, we couldn't make a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but we can import a fucking extinct virus back in.
Pretty much.
God.
Or an adaptation of an ancient virus. I mean, the polio-like symptoms is well, frankly, terrifying to me.
Well, you know, Stephen Hawking did all right.
Well, multiple sclerosis was a thing, right?
Yeah,
was it? I thought he had polio, didn't he?
No, he had Lou Gehrig's disease, which is I think multiple sclerosis. I think that's what it is.
Well, somebody had polio. and he was smart.
Oh, you're talking about FDR, which actually didn't have polio.
No, scientist. Fell in a river.
Oh, scientist fell in a river and got polio?
Well, yeah.
Polio.
No, he had because of his polio, he ended up falling in a river. He ended up getting rescued, but he was a great scientist. Anyway, it was going back a ways.
Okay. Okay.
70s, 60s. That's why I thought it was Hawking.
No, Hawkins had Lou Gehrig's disease.
Right.
He had a degenerative.
God, you're old.
Does that surprise you?
What do you mean? Knowing history makes you old, does it? I know stuff about fucking 1066.
You act like you were there.
No, I'm remembering. I've got to place myself.
Once upon a time.
So he was there.
Back when I was with Ian Fleming and we were looking. He really hated Louis Pasteur. I remember he kept yelling about him.
And don't get me started on that bitch fucking Marie Curie.
It's amazing they think you're older than I am.
And Florence Nightingale could kiss my ass.
That's just because you hit on her and she told you to go away. She just kicked her head down the road.
He says, "I'll show you my bullet wound," and she said, "Get the hell out of here," and kicked him in the ass.
But she still took my pocket watch.
Well, that's what you get for asking her the time, idiot.
So is it possible?
Why am I giving her my pocket watch? What the fuck?
It was time to get a new watch. That's what she said, right? She goes, "Let me see your watch. Time to get a new watch. That's what time it is."
Anyway, she was frigid. She didn't put out.
No. Okay, they have no idea what this illness is at all. Is it possible that something came in on a meteor and hit and slowly spread and reproduced?
It's aliens.
I did see a post. I did see a post where they said this. I did see a post where it was like in California. They went, "Oh, there's this brand new disease," and it's like, "Oh, the homeless people are having sores everywhere, and and like having sores everywhere and are dying and all this stuff." And then when I actually saw the video, he was interviewing a meth head.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. It's like she is an actual meth head. Like she even had the drugs in her hand, for God's sake.
She had the needle in her arm.
Fuck me.
Yeah.
And everyone in the replies were just going like, "Oh my God, it's a new disease!" And it's like, or she's a meth head,
or she's a meth.
Or yeah.
She's just a skank. Plenty of them. Go to Vegas.
Gross. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a bit different though because it's hitting kids.
Well, okay, so here's
stop giving meth to kids then.
They're trying to say it's not very contagious. They aren't sure. It's only affecting immunocompromised children at this point. So if this is a new virus, we have to kind of get on top of it so we can create an antiviral now to catch it in early stages before it hits a new mutation.
So how do you want us to get on top of it?
No, nobody's managed to get on top of it. I think there's been 7 or 8 kids now that have died. There's another kid who's like lost his limbs. It seems to, yeah, it comes with paralysis. So
what's the CDC said about it? I mean, surely they've got an opinion.
Actually, the CDC has known about this for months, and we're just now starting to hear anything about it.
Yeah, they've been. I kind of remember this case when they first started reporting on it as well. And the CDC is basically their response is, "We know about it, we're following it," and that's it.
They're doing nothing.
We're monitoring. Yeah.
So the only thing that the CDC said is that it is not polio. That's what the only other statement that they've said. is that we know it isn't polio. Well, great. That's wonderful, but then what is it?
Yeah, but surely, I mean, all you have to do is, take a look at the, the pathogen, the strain, and I mean, we do know how to deal with these things these days. Well, we do have a lot of, genetic.
We know how to protect voting booths, and we don't do that either. So,
well, true. Yeah, good point. Yeah, but writing ballots, you see.
No, it's kind of it's distressing because it's yet again, everybody's like, oh, the government, they'll save us from everything. But it seems like every time there's a disaster, the government seems to be smack in the middle of making it fucking worse.
Well, they definitely don't seem to be helping the situation.
But let's hand them our guns, right?
Well, isn't that what they say? When the government says they're here to help, that's Ronald Reagan, wasn't it? The worst three words that you can hear.
That ever hear is I'm from the government and I'm here to help you.
Yeah, 5 words.
Followed shortly by Bill Clinton, who used the government to kill people.
Well, you can't say this to MC because he's an absolute institutionalist. So
I am not an absolute institutionalist.
Yes, you are.
Right, MC? We should all just learn. We should go to Janet Reno's memorial, right?
They should go to what? I'm sorry.
Janet Reno's memorial. Should we go to Janet Reno's?
Jesus. What an absolute disaster she was. I still to this day cannot believe after the Alien Gonzalez thing, all right, that anybody did. That's when to be honest, that's when I truly lost all hope for the press. That's when I lost all hope for the mainstream media was during the Alien and Gonzalez thing, because they lied so badly about that. I mean, it was just absolutely ridiculous. The videos were there, and all the evidence is there, and they came back and said, it's a good thing what they did to this kid.
Yeah.
And it was like, no, there's no way you can look at what this was and in any way, shape, or form say this was good, that this needed to happen. There's just no freaking way. And any other president would have immediately stepped in and done that and put a stop to it and then fired his attorney general. Instead, the press just closed ranks behind her and supported that freaking nonsense.
And then Vicki Weaver was shot holding her fully automatic, fully loaded baby. I know it's a really funny way to say it, but she was shot holding an infant. I mean, Lon Horiuchi took her out with a sniper round while she was holding the baby.
Well, that's nothing new. They did that at Ruby Ridge.
That was Ruby Ridge that she was referring to.
Oh, is that the one? Right. Yeah.
But that actually happened prior to it, because that happened during the Bush 1 administration, or the
Ruby
Bush
Ridge?
Senior administration. Yeah, Ruby Ridge was Bush Senior.
I could have swore that was.
No, it's a long time ago.
You're right. You're right. Thinking about.
I was there.
You're right.
But Janet Reno couldn't. I mean, she just got done frying 60, 70 kids. Well, it wasn't for 60, 70 people anyway. At Waco.
Oh yeah. She's fuck. What a scary attorney general. Jesus. And everybody's bitching about Jeff Sessions, and I'm like, guys.
Hey, I don't like that freaking Keebler elf.
Well, no, why is anybody on the right trying to protect Jeff Sessions right now when everybody on the left is apoplectic about it? Just shut up and let them roll. Watch them do it and don't say a fucking word, because eventually it's going to come out that Jeff Sessions has been behind the scenes doing something fucking really annoying. Or possibly.
No, what about?
Wait, it's going to fucking happen. Dollars to motherfucking donuts. Seriously. We're going to find out. Because Sessions is one of these establishment Republicans, has been for a long time. We're going to find out he has some sort of there's a different reason why he had to recuse himself than what he said is the reason to recuse himself or some shit. There's going to be some other thing. Trust me, there's going to be some behind the scenes thing that's going to piss everybody off. So just
I don't
go.
know. He stepped down already, so yeah.
Oh yeah, but that's got the left all freaking apoplectic. This with Whitaker right now, they're still trying to figure out a way to try and get rid of Whitaker.
Well, it'll be interesting to what happens after that Skeksis Ginsburg ends up popping a clog.
Well, he has.
Oh my God, that fits her so well too. For those people in the chat that don't know what he's talking about the dark crystal skexes.
The
Yep.
Skeksis.
Skexi.
Skeksis. They're the Skeksy. The Skeksis. So well.
Oh my God. It fits her so well too, though. I mean, you see her that way. Holy crap! That's
She's
horrible.
like some wizened old vulture.
And with that, I am going to have to walk away, boys and girls. My playtime is over. I have minions to beat and small people to
feed.
To subjugate. That's the word.
Subjugate?
Yeah, the basement beckons.
We call this parenting.
The journey of the hunt has arrived.
Trust me, they're asking for it today. Beat. All right. Sorry. Anyway, guys, have a great night. And remember, scabs are not food.
It's purple, it counts.
Oh, well, with that, what's the next story there, Mad Dodge?
He's gone. He fucked off too.
Looks like he reset himself.
Yeah, we still have. Okay, people are coming back. That's nice. We still have Miss Steam.
It kind of booted me out, and I was like, ugh.
Okay, Mad Dodge, what's the next story?
All right, in Ohio, a mother, father, and their 2 sons went on a rampage, killing 7 members of their own family and the fiance that was going to marry into the family. The police was methodically planned, in other words, premeditated, and it might have something to do over a custody fight going on. It's rather tragic, but is it expected now? I mean, shit like this.
Are we going back to the Hatfields McCoy days? Is that what you're asking?
I don't know. It just seems like you're getting these psycho freaking people all over the place now.
Well, you're going to kill somebody for marrying into the family?
No, it's something about custody, but the police aren't giving out in very many details at all. It's in the side chat if you weren't booted when I was booted. It's still, or no, it's not. Let me grab it.
I know, that's why people get booted. Side chat fucks everything up, mate. It's a really bad idea. Stick it in Discord. It's much safer.
It's already in Discord. It's in the Redeye stream right above the Hangout link. It's the last story I got.
Ah.
All right, let me take a quick gander at this, if you don't mind, because this sounds kind of ridiculous. Well, then again, anything anymore is sounding ridiculous with this crap.
I know.
Eight people arrested a husband and wife and their 2 sons over a meticulously planned murder of 8 people, 7 members of the same family, and a fiancé. George Wagner III and Angelina Wagner and their sons, George Wagner IV and Edward Wagner, are accused of carrying out the April 2016 massacre in Peebles, a rural county village 80 miles, 130 kilometers east of Cincinnati. Okay, so this is Pennsylvania. Okay, this is Hatfield McCoy shit. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine said the motive was related to a child custody without clarifying further. They found 7 bodies, each with a bullet to the head, in 3 separate homes and an 8th at a separate site. Many were killed in their sleep.
Lovely.
The family members killed were Christopher Roden Sr., 40, Christopher Roden Jr., 16, Clarence Frankie Roden, 20, Dana Roden, 37, Gary Roden, 38, Hannah Roden, 19, and Kenneth Roden, 44. The other victim, 20-year-old Hannah Hazel Gilley, was engaged to Clarence Roden. Oh, okay. So a person wasn't trying to marry into the family. This was just a family, a soon-to-be family member of this other group that got killed. The shooter spared.
I'm sorry, I'm confused. What are we talking about? Oh, this is like some kind of weird, fucking American inbreeding thing.
The shooter spared 3 young children, a newborn baby found lying next to her dead mother, as well as 2 other children who were 6 months and 3 months old. Officials accused the Wagner of an elaborate cover-up, including tampering with cell phones and security camera footage. They did this quickly, coldly, calmly, and very carefully. But not carefully enough. All right, they left traces. They left a trail. And the parts to build a silencer, the forged documents, the cameras, the cell phones, all that they tampered with, and the lies, and all the lies they told us.
I'm surprised they didn't stick it on fucking live stream or fucking YouTube. Can they make it any easier?
Each of the suspects faces 8 counts of aggravated murder. If convicted, they could get the death penalty. Police also arrested Rita Newcomb, who identified Angelina Wagner's mother and Frederica Wagner and George Wagner III's mother. They are accused of helping with the cover-up. The killing sent shockwaves through the community, I guess, all right, located in an economically distressed area around 28,000 people that is home to an abandoned uranium plant.
Oh,
uranium. Well, that would certainly explain the inbreeding.
Yeah, well, they probably have brain tumors or something.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're lucky it didn't end up like fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, it seems like, you know.
It would be interesting to know what the actual beef was, right? It sounds like somebody was probably at one point related in some way to one of the other people. Because if they said it's a custody,
that's what I mean.
Then
I said it's family, isn't it?
It sounds like somebody was married to somebody else at one point in time, and or something. It's just werid. My family usually settles for a simple meal together and a conversation. It's one of the chats. It's one of the people put it in the comment section.
Yeah, the one thing you don't want to have when you go for a family dinner is you don't want to have a bowl in the middle where you all put your keys in. You know what I mean? It's not good. It's definitely a bad sign.
Your cell phones go over here. No cell phones around. You can't have a cell phone out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because like I said, they weren't too fussed about information getting out.
This is a news story. This just came out. Michael Avenatti, who skyrocketed to fame as chief critic of President Donald Trump and his lawyers for porn actress Stormy Daniels, was arrested Wednesday on suspicion of domestic violence.
Well, no, that was already Tim already brought that up, didn't you hear? Oh, you came in late. Yeah,
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you guys already talked about how he got arrested.
I thought we were. But you can give your thoughts because we got only 15 minutes left, and I don't really have unless I look at my phone real quick. I can find another story.
Well, this is one of the keys to the White House for the Dems. This is like a resume enhancer. This might actually get him the nomination when you think about it. I mean, he's falling right under the skill set that Bill Clinton came under, right? Isn't that how this works? You beat your family members and you get to go. You get elected. I mean, it worked for Keith Ellison too, right? He's now an attorney general in Minnesota. So this is like a resume enhancer for the Democrats. I can see why he did it. He probably felt like he had to. He had to put something else on his resume, man.
And I did find a story real quick.
Okay.
This is out of CNN, so take it with a grain of salt. You know, they just filed a lawsuit. Trump's mood takes a foul turn. He's pissed at damn near everyone. All right. In Washington, a political clobbering, bickering aides, and now a public grenade launched across the White House by the First Lady have placed President Trump in a position he loathes back into a corner. So I don't know. I think they're talking shit. I don't know if I'm not going to give CNN the benefit of me reading their entire fucking article.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I think Trump is absolutely chuckling himself to sleep every night. I mean, all he has to do is, I think that, you know, that final tweet that he does before he goes to sleep is just so he can have he can have happy dreams. He just, you know, it's like I've pissed somebody off, so that's going to be good. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens in the morning, and then he sleeps like a fucking angel.
Hammered Spud in the chat. Real quick, I'm gonna read the chat. Hammered Spud said it's not inbreeding. Those web feet are the mutation caused by the uranium. It's all good. I added the "it's all good" part. But go ahead, Misty.
I'm just saying, Trump is the first president to meme his way to the top.
Yeah. Well, actually, to be a meme, you know, also an actual meme in his own right. So, you know, as a president, the first meme president. I mean, he was tech when it was, you know, valid.
Well, I'm thinking the only people he's pissed off at is CNN. So yeah, maybe they're writing a story about themselves.
But that's the thing. I don't think he's pissed off. That's the whole point. They actually want to think that he really gives a shit about them, but he's not. He's just looking at them, smiling, like chuckling to himself, and say, "Let's see how I can piss them off tomorrow," and then just types in something and goes to bed. You know, I mean, he just gives them, you know, like tomorrow's feed. It just gives them their morning headline.
Yeah, it's I think Cabbage, you're right. I think that he plays with the press. Now, I don't think that everything. I don't think he's playing 5D chess, but he is playing 3D chess with them. He is trolling them. He is the chief. You know, the troller in chief. He really is. He does a lot of stuff to troll these people, and they just can't handle it. And I honestly think that this latest thing, where his wife. Press group basically said this person's got to go, right, in the National Security Council, right? I really believe that it's very possible that he said, hey, let's do this, right? It wouldn't surprise me at all if he's doing something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's give him something to bite on.
I mean, that's this time, if you follow the press's tortured path on what they think of Trump, he's everything. He's a stupid buffoon genius, all right, that is the over alpha dog cucked to his wife. I mean, it's freaking amazing what he is.
It is. It's absolutely true.
He's somehow smart enough to sabotage the entire LGBT community, but somehow dumb enough to can't form a sentence. I don't know. It's
I mean, it's.
I think it's a bit contradictory.
What they do. When way back when, at the very beginning when he started, he put out that tweet, "Kafifi." Remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
And I thought at the time it was probably just a typo. We all do typos. I mean, I'm horrible typing and doing stuff, right? And now I'm beginning to wonder whether he did that. He did that intentionally just to say, "Hey, watch this." He's probably back there with pens going, "Watch this one. Watch. He might let me watch what they do with this."
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Ridiculous the crap.
All the thing is, the thing is, he can just bungle something, and it's like, oh shit, that's gone a bit wide. Okay, let's just see how silly we can make them as to how they overreact, because everything is an overreaction. They always go stupid.
You know his frickin' smile and wink at Putin was just for the press. You know that was done just to watch them go. It's burnt out.
Yeah. They keep talking about how Donald Trump is anti-LGBT and all that stuff, but it's like when Putin was going to make homosexuality fully illegal, like you would actually get arrested and convicted for being homosexual. Mm-hmm. He was about to do that. And he backed out because Trump won, and they need deals with America. And if he passed that law, that would have sullied their deals.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, the reality is nobody expected Trump to win.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing. That's the thing. Gay people in Russia would have been arrested for being gay right now if it was Hillary Clinton won.
Oh yeah, well if it was Hillary Clinton, they'd be getting deported to Saudi Arabia for the high dive. I mean, if you really want to know the truth of the matter, and she'd be sitting in the background eating her popcorn. Watch this one, hey Bill, come on in here, watch some of these. Right, because that's the kind of person that Hillary Clinton is. Right. Now maybe that sounds a little bitter on my part, but we dodged the country dodged a major bullet. All right, with Hillary Clinton. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, well, 2020, mate. 2020.
Well, I saw some polls. Her and Oprah and somebody else are all at the bottom of the list. I don't know who was up at top, but there is an interesting story that we can close out on. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be good or bad. All right. Dan Aykroyd, new Ghostbusters film being written for the original stars. Maybe they realized they fucked up with the all-chick Ghostbusters, and they're going to do it right. But one of the original Ghostbusters died.
Yeah, so. Ramus is gone, right?
Yeah. They'll just
so you would have to recast him. Animatronic him.
Then again, I don't know if Bill Murray would Bill Murray be interested in something like that.
Bill Murray, I think, told Dan Aykroyd to fuck off last time he tried to do this. Bill Murray is kind of a dick.
Yeah. True.
Bill
I don't see why any of them would be interested, because the thing was, Bill Murray wanted to really create himself a more serious, career. I mean, he enjoyed his, the Ghostbuster stuff, but he then started getting into, he wasn't just doing comedy. And anyway, why? What would be the incentive to do that?
Dan Aykroyd has been trying to push through a script for Ghostbusters 3 for 20 years or 25 years. But this says it'll be a new take on the original
but Dan Aykroyd
film.
Is
it's going to be a reboot. They want to reboot the franchise.
He's a ufologist as well. He's a fucking ufologist.
Hey,
why would you want to listen?
Hey, you back off, my buddy Dan Aykroyd. I got a lot of good information about the Men in Black from him.
Seriously, I mean, maybe he just, I don't know. Did he get divorced or something, and he needs an extra paycheck? Because that's what John Cleese did. You know what I mean? Every time he got divorced, he had to go out and check it out. He probably lost a bunch of money on some Ponzi scheme or something.
I think really this is what he always wanted to do. He wanted to finish off the trilogy as he saw it, because he was one of the writers on both the first two films.
Was he?
I believe the main writer. This was his project. But it says it's going to be
get butchered like that. Then
I don't know. Maybe the video game got him a lot of money, so he's like, fuck it. But no. It's going to end up being a reimagining or a new take on the original film. They're going to do another reboot to try and fix the franchise after the disaster.
Well, let me ask you a question. Are any of you interested in that?
Nope.
I
not
am.
At all. I do not want to see Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd as fucking octogenarians or whatever the fuck they are at the moment, waddling around in a backpack. It would be retarded. See, this is the thing that they really lost the opportunity for with the previous one. Now, even if they'd done it with all women or something, if it had been the kids of the of the previous Ghostbusters, it would have made sense. But this is random fucking artificial recreation. It didn't make any sense whatsoever. You could have merged the two. You need a handover when it's something like that, and they didn't do it.
What Hollywood needs to do, and the Hollywood right now is
what Hollywood needs to do is sink into the fucking Pacific.
it needs real stories again. It needs new storylines. It needs to start coming back and start doing new stories.
Well, that's what worries me, mate, because after Avengers, the Age of Ultron, they just fucking wiped out every single one of the major characters. And I bet you their intention is to replace them with a bunch of these social justice, new creations. Like they have to replace them with something, right? So either they go to the point where they revise history, they manage to get the time stone or something, and go back in time and manage to resurrect these people, or they are going to use this as a way of kind of like resetting the system. I mean, fucking Stan Lee would be spinning.
Well, that is one bad thing. With Stan Lee gone, they have no brakes on them to change everything. Unfortunately, that is a problem.
Yeah, actually, Stan Lee was steadfast in his belief that you need to keep Spider-Man the way Spider-Man is. You know, you can't start making Spider-Man a freaking chick or something. Like,
well, they want to turn him into a freaking gay Latino freaking lesbian. That's probably what they want to do.
Anyway, folklore. Folklore is great for storytelling. It's very good inspiration. It's very good everything. Irish and Russian folklore is especially interesting. Russian folklore, you can create loads of horror stories using Russian folklore, and you could also create very Disney-esque movies from Irish folklore. It's a very good way to get your mind creating with stories, sort of thing. I mean, we've already delved into Greek, Roman.
Not really.
You know, why not?
When was the last time you saw something from the Greek and Roman periods? Out of Hollywood, I mean.
I see. Well, there was.
Oh, what was that movie? I own it somewhere. It has The Rock in it. It's about Greek stuff.
No, there's I mean, the Marvel universe constantly takes mythology and puts it into their works. Like Aquaman. Aquaman came from not ancient Greece, older than ancient Greece.
Atlantis is what they were basically saying.
Yeah. It was a load of myths from ancient Greece. I just call it that because I can't remember the actual name. And there's also the Flash. That's based off Greek mythology too. Why not? Instead of focusing on Greek mythology, we focus on other mythologies?
That's fine. I don't disagree with that. I mean, I have no problem with that part of it. I just think that the storylines that Hollywood is stuck with right now are so obvious. They have no originality to them.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I think this is where they think they're going to draw their originality is because they now killed off most of the superheroes. Now they're going to replace them with a bunch of, trannies or something. I don't know. It's going to be the tranny squad.
Or even worse, they continue using Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't know what.
Well, you mean the fat gerbil? I mean the fucking flying squirrel.
I'm sorry. The one thing I've never Ben Affleck and Brad Pitt. I'm sorry, but I can't take them seriously as actors. I never could.
Seriously,
they can't act.
Have you seen Ben Affleck in that last one? I mean, his cheeks were sticking out of his mask. He looked like he had fucking acorns in his cheeks.
That part to me is immaterial to the inability to act. The man can't act.
No,
not really. You can't. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that there are so many flaws, mate. There are so many. It's just
there's at least one good. There's at least one good Brad Pitt movie, and he was in Interview with the Vampire. That's a damn good movie.
He can't act. His whole freaking persona in that movie was so damn wooden. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I like the movie as a whole. I like the movie as a whole, though. So.
Yeah, that's the whole point, though, right? If you got a really good script, you can still make a good movie, even with a mediocre actor, right? But if you got a crappy script, then the actor has to. I mean, you can get an exceptional actor and still make it.
Let's be honest. As much as
but when you got a shitty script and a shitty actor, it's going downhill.
As much as I despise, the man, at least not Ted Cruz, at least Tom Cruise, all right, put in a credible performance as Lestat. everyone was more interested in what Lestat was doing than what Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt was supposed to be the main character.
Not to mention, most of Hollywood's money is not from America itself, but from other countries, because other countries look up to Hollywood.
Well, of course. Yeah, but it's interesting that China blocked. Which one was it? Because they didn't like witchcraft or something like that. They had a
they have the majority stake in Sony. They can block anything coming out of Sony.
Well, no, but it was a particular reason why they wouldn't allow it to be released in the cinemas, because it had some. It was a witchcraft thing or whatever.
Nom.
What? What was that?
I have no idea. I think he's talking to somebody else or something. But no, you're kind of right. Brad Pitt didn't even act in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. They were already fucking. It was just
I was talking to
a damn movie.
Pagan Butterfly Kitten.
Pagan Butterfly Kitten. Okay.
Yeah, that's what she is on YouTube, but she hasn't made videos in a while.
Is it like Man Bear Pig?
Sort of. A kitten with butterfly wings and a pentacle around the neck. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, my money's on Man Bear Pig. I think it'll win. Like Godzilla versus Mothra. I'm going for Godzilla.
That's like betting that Al Gore will win.
Oh, crap. I give her a tumble on nose.
But no, I mean, who's a decent male actor nowadays?
John Goodman.
Okay.
John Goodman is good.
He's old. Let's be honest. John Goodman's got quite a bit of age on him now. Who else?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, the thing is, I think the real question. I mean, who's got range, right? I mean, you want an actor that's got range. You don't want somebody who can just do one particular genre.
Denzel Washington.
Sorry, what's the guy who played Del Boy from Only Fools and Horses? He played.
I don't know I never saw that. Well, the Hollywood actors that I can think of right now, the only one that has range that is still somewhat young is Denzel Washington. The rest of them, as far as male leads, I can't think of a decent male lead that can freaking act.
Yeah, I think you mean David Jason, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. No, he's one of my favorite actors anyway.
What's the guy's name? The guy that played in Game of Thrones. He was Robb Stark. But I think he's British, so I don't know if he counts.
Well, I mean, he counts.
He's an actor.
He's an actor. He can count. I've just never seen him in anything.
Well, I guess we're talking about American.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones. I have no intention of watching it.
Well, you're not missing anything. It takes about 3 series to get to the bloody dragons, and then nothing really happened.
The dragons aren't the most important part of. Never mind. I'm not arguing.
Bullshit. The Game of Thrones is just it's an excuse for a bit of soft porn. That's all it is. A bit of medieval soft porn.
Fuck you, Cabby. I can't argue with the first
So basically what you're telling me is I gotta go on Pornhub to find a decent actor? Are you freaking kidding me? Is that
John Holmes, where are you now?
Tim Curry, Tim Curry, I think he's an amazing actor.
No, I'm trying to figure out who a new leading man. What would be a good new leading man?
Well, John Cumberbatch, but he's pretty wooden as well. I mean, he just has a kind of. Well, I don't know. Actually, he's like Cumberbatch, Cumberbund, whatever the fuck he's called.
In the chat, they're saying Ryan Reynolds.
What has Ryan Reynolds been in?
Deadpool, right? Isn't he Deadpool?
No, Deadpool 2 sucked though. That was so bad.
I haven't seen it.
He's playing the voice of Pikachu.
Terrible.
Wow. Why doesn't he just go and get like? I mean, why isn't his voice doing fucking? Oh shit.
There's a number of actors that are much better as voice actors than they are actors or actresses on the.
Yeah, some people have good acting abilities for radio.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Jonathan Frakes did a much better job as a voice actor than he ever did as an actual actor, even on Star Trek Next Generation.
Don't fuck with him, dude. He was good in North and South. He played a perfect douchebag in that fucking miniseries. He was good as Riker after season freaking 1. All right, we forget about season 1.
Where's the range?
No,
but you need an actor that's got some range.
Yes, I agree.
You know, you gotta have a degree. You know, you gotta be able to play in multiple roles, and and make it convincing.
But of the younger actors, the younger male actors, I can't think of one that's worth a freaking dang. That has any kind of range, that has any kind of ability, with, like I said, with the exception of maybe Denzel Washington, but Denzel's getting older now.
Oh, you'd be jealous of Denzel. No, he's fucking graying.
Yeah, so I mean,
is he even allowed in the country? Is he still waiting to be? Has he got out for his tax evasion?
No, that was Wesley Snipes. That wasn't Denzel Washington.
Oh, Wesley Snipes, yeah.
It wasn't Denzel Washington.
All right. Yeah. Oh, and who's the one who went chubby? He did The Last King of Scotland.
The one who went chubby?
Yeah, black guy. Guy. He's got some pretty good range, actually.
Well, I don't care. I don't care if they're what color they are. I just want somebody a decent.
No, I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to highlight, like so you can identify who I mean. It was the guy who did The Last King of Scotland.
I didn't see that.
He played Robert Mugabe.
Robert Mugabe?
Mm-hmm.
In what? Something else I probably haven't seen.
It's a good film. It's a good film, actually. It was all right. But yeah, I mean, the actors definitely seem to be thin on the ground. Well, I mean, anything of quality. Well, they didn't want to do that. I mean, Hollywood's turned into like the pop industry. They think that they can just stamp something out and people are going to watch it because, hey, if there's nothing else to watch, then you're going to watch it anyway. And people have been programmed to go to the cinema.
I can name good male actors, but non-American.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I don't care if they're where they come from. I mean, it's just a matter of I'm thinking of like a male, a major lead that could play a major lead in a movie, like one of these.
Yeah. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Simon Pegg's a little bit typecast.
Well, no, it's funny. I typed that in on my phone on Google, and all it came up with was older actors. Even Leonardo DiCaprio's.
Oh, come on. He couldn't act either.
Yeah. They said he was #1. Daniel Day-Lewis, Tom Hanks, Jack Nicholson, Anthony Hopkins. I mean, this is like the actors' old folks' home.
It's like geriatric central.
Yeah, there is. No, I mean, I've got to say, I don't see any either, which is why, I mean, like I said, Cumberbatch, whatever the fuck. He's not grey, but he's still in his, late 30s, early 40s?
Yeah, I just... I mean, it's like for a while there, for a team arrived, all right? You end up with like Sigourney Weaver at that time that came out and a few others that could act, all right? And now you got some halfway decent ones, female leads. But as far as male leads, there's freaking no decent male lead anymore. And anybody who tells me Will Smith is a decent male lead, they're out of their freaking mind.
Yeah,
but that's because but every male lead has got to be fucking castrated before he can go on set, right? Because everything has got to be about the strong female character. So you got to castrate the male character first. So how are you ever gonna get a decent male character actually playing a male character?
what's the name of the guy that played the doctor on Lost or whatever? He was the doctor, you know, he was pretty much the main character other than Sawyer.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of the guy's name. You think he could do it?
He's a decent actor, or maybe even the guy that played Sawyer. I liked Sawyer's portrayal in Lost. I just haven't seen him in anything else.
Who was the scientist guy on? You'll know this one, Miss Steam. The main person in Full Monty.
Full Monty.
Yeah, you know the Full Monty. Now that has two great actors in it. In fact, one of those actors ended up playing fucking Abraham Lincoln or something. Those are British actors.
I don't remember. I'm not very good at actors' names.
No, I'm not. I don't remember either. I don't do celebrity shit.
Well, do you have a good actor's name? Male lead?
I'm trying to think of it. That's why I was asking if she could remember it for me.
I was saying Sir Wolf. I was wondering if he had somebody.
No, I don't. I can't think of any.
There's got to be one out there somewhere. Come on, I mean, between us all, we can come up with one.
Jean-Luc Picard.
What? Patrick Stewart? Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be right up there with the geriatric home. Is the problem? That's what I'm saying. There's no new decent male leads or male actors anymore.
Okay, this is a joke, by the way, but Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton? Oh, you! I am gonna have to hunt you down and kill you now. I mean, that's not even a joke.
Shut up, Wesley.
I prefaced it first. Come on.
That's not a joke. It's fact. Shut up, Wesley.
I mean, even what's his name? Guy who played Geordie. He at one time was he is a decent actor, but the guy who plays Geordie LaForge, who is that? For some reason, I'm blanking on his name.
Oh yeah,
Reading Rainbow.
Yes,
wasn't it called Token?
He was in Roots too. He was in Roots, but no, I can't remember his name right now either. But there, James has a couple ideas. Edwin McGregor, he was in Trainspotting or Trainspotting.
Oh no, I mean Ewan McGregor. Ewan.
I always misspell shit. Yeah. Or Robert, and I'll misspell this last name or mispronounce this last name too. Carlisle. He played in Bed By.
LeVar Burton. Thanks, Matt. James Maxwell's in the chat. But he's older now too.
Why aren't you in here, Hamster? Why do you never join us?
Yeah. Well, I got to wrap it up here soon though. All the kids are right behind.
Carry on, yeah, but we can have an after party. I'm such a fucking.
Do you think Dwayne Johnson is a good actor? And Adam Sandler?
He's getting better though. Like his movies are gradually getting better.
Nicolas Cage? Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Nicolas Cage? Oh my god! I can't freaking act to save his life. He could act his way out of a paper bag
because it Sawzall.
Tim Curry is one of my favorite actors. He can play anything from a villain to a gay guy.
That's true. Tim Curry was good.
Tim Curry.
He's good.
Well, he's beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
I mean, let me ask you another question.
Right.
Since we're on this subject here, and I'm just curious, who won? What movie won the best picture for Academy Award this year?
It's probably a minority trans.
No, what was the movie? Does anybody know?
I don't know. No.
I know. I don't really follow that sort of thing.
I mean, doesn't that show you just how far Hollywood has fallen?
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I don't read Cosmopolitan.
James Maxwell's probably some fag shit. But it shows you the mistake.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was saying I saw the movie Get Out, which was I think it was a really good movie. And the actor in it, the main actor, he's he's really good. I've seen him in quite a few things. He's got Tim Curry's kind of level of acting. So I think he can go very serious to very stupid in just a quick second.
Chuck Norris.
He's really good. Because the movie Get Out is okay. It is in race, but it's based off a short story that was written in the 80s. So not gender politics. And basically, it's a really good movie. It's kind of like a horror comedy, and he managed to deliver suspense and humor really well in this one movie. He was also in Black Mirror, which it was also in Black Mirror.
Which one?
He did really well. Get Out.
Which Black Mirror? Was it the American one or the UK, the original?
Oh, he's UK, but he can play an American.
Yeah, I'm just saying, was it one of the UK ones or was it one of the American ones? Because the American they weren't that great.
It was a mixed production between two, so it was like they had two directors.
Okay, so that was when that's when what's his name, the fucker.
Yeah. But he's in his mid-20s though. I know that. He's in his mid-20s, and at the moment he's a really big actor in the UK and becoming a big actor in America, because I think he won a few awards in America. So I know that much, but other than that, I don't follow Western media too much.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? I mean, yeah, but it should, like, come to the forefront of your mind. Like, I mean, the question was a really basic one, which is, who's the up and coming or whatever, and there aren't any. It's not like you're going to call out Errol Flynn or something like that. You know what I mean?
Maxwell came up with Kevin Spacey, which is actually not bad. Kevin Spacey at least can act. Okay.
Yeah.
But he's really, obviously he may never act again. I mean, yeah, he might be. I think he's been black in Hollywood. So
I don't know. He might be acting in the showers.
I mean, his career, for all intents and purposes, is over.
But I mean, the really good acting, if you go back, I mean, all of it stems out of theatre. Right? I mean, they're really good actors. So that's the reason that America used so many British actors. If you go look at most of the Star Wars things, the recent ones, and that, don't blame us for the scripts, but I mean, you couldn't act your way out of the scripts. But that they wanted to use people with walking the boards. People who've actually gone out, and because they've got more range. It really does. It still comes down to range. I mean, because you need to have. I mean, like someone like Tom Cruise. I mean, what's his range?
Well, I might be getting shit for this, but Norman Reedus, he was good in The Walking Dead, obviously, and then Boondock Saints. Both of them, he was really good in those. And those are totally different characters. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, what about him? He plays Negan. I'm not Negan. I'm just looking at the Walking Dead cast here, and a few of these guys are really good. So yeah, Andrew Lincoln's even a pretty good actor.
Just saying, I think that it's theatre actors that get their head turns to Hollywood. They tend to be the best actors and actresses,
Yeah, but what do we have left now? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, even theater actors today are not what they were.
No, that's true. I think.
Go ahead.
I know voice acting has gone a shit ton better. But with live action acting, it seems to have gotten worse. It's kind of got reversed. It used to have been voice acting was pretty terrible and live acting was really good, and it's kind of reversed at this point.
That's a good point, actually. That's an interesting observation.
Yeah, well, I watch a lot of animation. So it's probably because I'm a nerd.
No, you're not. Please tell me you're not a fucking furry.
No, I am not a furry.
Just checking.
I would have liked you to said yes just to watch Cabbage spurg out.
You're a sick man, MC.
Well, in that case, I identify as catkin.
Now, you see, if you really wanted to fuck me off, you just said otherkin, because that.
Okay, I'm a cat otherkin.
And James, that's Miss Steen. That's who's the one who looks like a librarian with the glasses and the great hair.
Why isn't Hamster joining us? Join us, Hammy.
Well, I think that MADDS basically said he's going to close the stream pretty soon, so he's probably figuring out the hell just stay in the chat.
We can have the after show party. Fun time when all the real weird shit happens.
Yeah, I am going to wrap it up, but if Hamster does want to jump in, he can. But yeah, I'm going to have to wrap it up and go make a fire and shit before it gets cold. And I got stuff to do, so.
You know, it is getting me my supper time as well. I'm getting called. Well, I'm getting looked at. That's what I'm getting looked at. I'm not really called per se. There's not any voice exchanging things at the moment, but I am getting dirty looks from my wife, especially now.
Okay, so the big boys are all pussy whipped. That's what you're saying.
Hey, I'm institutionalized. You know that, Cabbage. I've been institutionalized for a long time now.
Yeah, Michael Myers.
30-something years now, so.
Yeah, well, thank you guys for watching. If you guys want to jump in and hang out, you guys can. But I'm going to wrap it up here. The link is in the chat. Anything else you guys want to say and give anybody a few minutes to copy and paste that link before I go off air, and I don't know if they can grab the link or not.
No, I think I'm pretty good. What about you, Cabbage? I'm sure you have something to say. You always do.
No, I mean, not in regards to closing up. I mean, I agree that there are very limited supplies for entertainment these days.
Well, of acting entertainment, it just amazes me just how horrible the actors are today.
I include music as well, you know, in that. I mean, there is a lot of, you know, diversity in music. I mean, there's loads of people who are trying to make it on, like, YouTube and, you know, Vivo and things like that. But the chance of them making any money is so limited. Well, so there is actually, you know, the competent people out there. They just don't seem to be able to get.
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to make it the old-fashioned way. They're not going to do it through record contracts anymore.
No, exactly.
You know, they're going to have to go out there and actually go on tour.
Yeah, and actually perform. Good God, you mean like what the Beatles did and Queen did and, you know, Led Zeppelin did and Metallica did. And,
that's just the way. That's just the way it is. Yeah, you're going to have to. They're going to have to make their money and their bones that way now. It's a huge dynamic change for them. You know, for the industry. Because it's going.
You know, I tell you what, that's going to be interesting for the actors then, because what are they going to become? Like going back to the days of the medieval times, where you're going to have these roving bands of, you know, of thespians.
Well, they'll be roving on the internet is what they're going to have to do. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, no, I think they actually have to be in person because you're not going to get it from the internet because YouTube will fucking, you know, de-advertise you. You know, Patreon will shut you down. I mean, you know, no fucking chance of doing it there. Yeah, you're going to have to do it in person.
When Article 11 and Article 13 hit, there won't be anything left either.
That's it, exactly. You know, and everything's going to have to be a fucking Bitcoin transaction.
Okay, this is very, very important. Does this look like a tumbler nose? I've been trying to avoid a tumbler nose.
What is a tumbler nose?
This looks like a nose. I mean, like any other nose.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's a tumbler nose?
A tumbler nose is a nose where it just looks wrong on any
like
artwork.
a stuck-up bitch.
Yeah, that's basically it.
No, it doesn't look like that.
Okay.
Yes, look, it's a nose.
Thank
you
God.
have a nose. Well done.
I've been trying really hard to avoid a tumbler nose because for some reason I kept drawing a tumbler nose and I'm just like, I don't want this.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Good luck, and don't go to France. We're out of here. Peace.